What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte, and I'm jumping right to the issue at hand. This stupid Snoke theory that people are parroting from, I guess it came from another Star Wars YouTube channel that I don't watch and probably will not watch thanks to this, but this Snoke is an acronym that means Sith no one knew existed. It's the dumbest thing. People are posting it in the comments, and every time I see it, I have to resist the urge to respond, "You are a dumbass, unsubscribe, stop watching me." And a bunch of people are probably going to unsubscribe, and you know what? Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you. It is an example of what I said in another video, that people are pushing this narrative that Snoke was a Jedi, because I decided I was going to take some time. It actually happened as an accident, but I ended up stumbling onto a blog site that has a Snoke's theory that a lot of other people have been taking pieces of this and basically messing up this guy's Snoke theory. So I'm going to give him credit because he took the time to sit down and go through a lot of stuff. It's on StarWarsAnalysis.com. The title is "Who is Snoke?" And basically he says that, just like I reported in a video last week, that Snoke was a member of the original Jedi Order who came to establish the Jedi Temple there on Ahch-To. Snoke turned to the dark side and he started the Sith. So basically Snoke was the last Jedi and the first Sith. And through the ages, Snoke, I guess, built up power, and eventually a group of his apprentices following the rule of two, where the apprentice rise up and kills the master to make the Sith stronger. A group of them rose up because Snoke was very powerful, and they killed him, although they thought he was dead. He was not dead, and he's managed to stay alive and lay in waiting through the ages. The outlived the Bane Order of Sith, saw the fall of the Sith Empire, the fall of the Sith, the rise of the Bane Order, the rise and fall of Palpatine and Vader. And now that there is no one to oppose him, he's finally risen up to assume leadership of the First Order and to wrestle control away from the galaxy. He's existed all this time in the unknown regions of space and hiding or licking his wounds or whatever, and that is the reason that Palpatine sensed that dark side presence in the unknown regions of space. The problem is that everyone, and I'll include myself because maybe I alluded to this as well, that what Palpatine is sensing coming from the unknown regions of space, oh, it has to be Snoke. It has to be Snoke. But Palpatine, what Yup Tashu said was Palpatine sensed a strong dark side presence in the unknown regions of space and believed that that was the source of his power, the source of the dark side of the Force. That doesn't necessarily mean it's Snoke. How do we know that Snoke wasn't some other Force user aligned with the dark side who sensed the same thing Palpatine sensed and went out there along with the Imperial remnant, right? The Empire, when they went into the unknown regions of space. How do we know that that's not what Thrawn was talking about, that there's a bigger threat out there looming beyond Republic space, beyond known space, that's waiting to strike out? We don't know that. We just assume it's Snoke. Snoke could have gone and found whatever that is. Also, if Snoke is a Sith, if Snoke was a Sith at some point, Pablo Hidalgo says that there were no Sith in The Force Awakens. So, I mean, the easiest explanation around that, duh, come on, guys. Snoke used to be a Sith, used to be Prince, don't be stupid. He used to be a Sith. He's the Sith that no one knew existed. Not even Pablo Hidalgo, Prince, because Pablo doesn't know everything, right? That's the creative self-conscious that the where you have to make things up to fit your narrative, and your narrative, that's your narrative. That's what it is. It's not the narrative that we're going to see in the movies. We're certainly not going to see it in episode 8, because what Rian Johnson is saying is that episode 8 isn't going to delve into Snoke's background. We're going to see Snoke in a pimped out robe with his Godfather Pope ring, and that's about it. We'll have to leave it up to Colin Trevorrow to give us more details on Snoke. My personal opinion is we're not going to learn anything about Snoke in this new saga at all. We didn't learn anything about Palpatine until the prequels. So why? I mean, the focus is on Anakin Skywalker's legacy, right? What's going to happen with Leia now that, you know, Carrie Fisher is no longer with us? What's going to happen with Anakin's daughter? What's going to happen with Anakin's son? What's going to happen with his grandson? What is the future of the Force? Anakin died to balance the Force. When he decided to turn back to the light, he no longer had that hatred to sustain him, to keep him alive, and he died to save his son, to turn back to the light. He brought balance to the Force as the chosen one. And now what? Right? The assumption that Snoke had other apprentices, that is a false assumption. Snoke doesn't say I had other apprentices. If Wikipedia says that, Wikipedia is wrong. What Snoke says is that Kylo Ren, I never had a student with such promise before you. That is the exact line from The Force Awakens novelization. I have never had a student. Right? You got to look at what the words say, because if he says apprentices, well, that's language that a Sith uses. That's language that a Jedi uses. But he says students. So the fact that the word student is there, well, what are you talking about? Were they apprentices? Were they Padawans? Were they students? Did you belong to some kind of school? What's the Knights of Ren? Is that another organization? We assume that it's the Acolytes of the Beyond. Maybe they were. Maybe Snoke was one of these Sith cultists, which means he's not a Sith, but he followed the Sith religion that we don't know anything about right now, other than Palpatine and Vader spoke the Sith language, and Yup Tashu may have known the Sith language and performed these Sith rituals, this kind of magic. We're assuming saying these Sith incantations and prayers. Snoke could have come out of that. He could have come out of any number of these religions that existed on Jeddah. How do you know, right? This is where you start to, this is how you connect dots, right? Snoke, Sith no one knew existed, right? The name Snoke, right? I don't know who came up with that. While I'm recording this, I'm gonna type, because I know the video is called Snoke is an acronym. Snoke acronym theory. Whoever comes up first, okay, Mike Zeroh, okay, your channel's bullshit. So did Mike Zeroh come up with it? The Mike Zeroh, the TMZ of Star Wars, because that's the first channel that comes up so automatically Snoke is an acronym. Well, look at who it's coming from. You should already know that it's bullshit. I thought there were a couple of other channels that were promoting that same narrative. My thing is this, right? We know that Snoke's name appeared somewhere else. It appeared a long time ago. And Pablo Hidalgo said, hey, names get reused. Finn has appeared before that name in Star Wars canon, right? It might be the Legends canon, but it has appeared before. Snoke's name appeared in the Jedi Prince books. And I'm surprised that the Mike Zeroh, TMZ himself, would report this. And I'm not gonna watch his video because I don't look at that dude's stuff because it's bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, and I'll go cry and tell him he's already blocked me on Twitter. Not that I follow his tweets, so whatever. But my point is, this dude did all these videos on the Jedi Prince series last summer. And I said, I don't think he read the book. I think he went on Wikipedia and read the summaries on Wikipedia. And now he's doing this. So that really makes me think, dude, you're making videos on stuff and coming off as an expert. and you haven't even read the material, right? Why have I not talked about the Thrawn novels? Because I haven't finished reading them, right? I said I read half of it and then I put it down and got busy with life and school and work and everything else. And that's why I haven't talked about the Thrawn novels. I haven't talked about Guardians of the Whills because I'm, 45% done with that book and haven't even started Rebel Rising. That's why I haven't done videos on them. And I'm not going to assume, or I'm not going to come on here just for clicks and whatever else and say blah, blah, blah happened in this book and I read it on Wikipedia, because I tell you guys, hey, if you're able to read and you have the time, you should read this stuff. And then I don't read it. That makes me sound like a freaking hypocrite. Right? So this dude is pushing this narrative. Snoke's name is an acronym, but did videos last summer on the book series. Pablo Hidalgo said, before you present another Snoke theory to me, read the Jedi Prince series. And in those books, we find out that there's a Corellian pilot named Snoke Loren. He was a better pilot, supposedly a faster pilot, according to old Ken Kenobi, or Ken, whatever his name. Ken thought he was Obi-Wan Kenobi's kid, so that's why I call him Ken Kenobi. But Ken, oh, Han Solo, you're not even the best pilot from Corellia. That goes to Snoke Loren, right? And so if I'm connecting the dots the way that I do things, and I'm not saying this is right, I'm not saying that you should do this, right? I open things up for conversation and let you guys form your own opinion. And I say, be rational. Don't just puppet. Don't just parrot what you heard somebody else say, because they don't know shit either, right? None of us know shit that are making these videos. We're just making the videos for entertainment, and sometimes it makes a lot of money. But where was I going? So there's a Corellian pilot who was named Snoke. Han Solo's from Corellia. What else is on Corellia? Coronet City. And in the Aftermath books, there was a museum in Coronet City. There was a lightsaber. There were probably some other Jedi and Sith artifacts in that museum. There were members of the Acolytes of the Beyond. So we can kind of assume that Yup Tashu may have been there. That means that there may be Sith cultists there, people following this dark side religion who worship the Sith. There might be other emo teenage kids running around that are members of the Acolytes of the Beyond there. We don't know if Snoke was some kind of advisor to Palpatine as well, because we know that Sith artifacts were on those ships that went out into the unknown regions of space, where the Empire went to lick their wounds and hide and rebuild under Grand Admiral Ray Sloan. We saw that in the Lando Calrissian comic book, when he stole one of those ships that had Sith artifacts that corrupted members of Lando's crew, and they started using lightsabers and acting like they were Sith Lords, right? We saw those, the Red Guard who were standing watch there, they were physically corrupted, right? They took off their masks, they looked rotted like Snoke, right? So we see where they're laying the crumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, that Hansel and Gretel showing us that, hey, if you're around the dark side, it F's you up. So I'm not saying that's what happened to Snoke, but I'm saying, man, we got to be open-minded. It's a whole lot of breadcrumbs laying around, and to just accept the most outrageous thing. I mean, well, hell, look what I'm talking. I mean, we got fucking Donald Trump as our president. So people, it seems that if you say the most outrageous thing, people will believe it, right? Oh, I'm going to drain the swamp, but I'm a one percenter, and I'm going to hire all my one percenter friends to run the government with me. But yeah, I'm draining the swamp, and I'm fighting for the little guy, right? So maybe I've wasted my time talking about this, but guys, be rational and look at what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, this narrative that Snoke is a Jedi, who's pushing this? It's not coming from MakingStarWars.net. It's not coming from those guys. It's not coming from anyone from Lucasfilm. It's coming from these tabloid blogs that get all their information from TMZ himself. That's what I'm going to start calling that dude, TMZ, right? because the dude is the fucking the tabloid, or he's the National Enquirer of Star Wars on YouTube, and y'all can go tell him I said that. And if he doesn't like it, it's not like he's gonna come see me. We know that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, I've ranted enough. I'm not even gonna edit any of this out. I'm just gonna leave all the shit talk in there, because that's how I feel about the whole thing. Snoke is the Sith that no one knew existed. Is the stupidest. That is the stupidest Snoke theory I've ever heard. Right? I would believe that Snoke is Leia before I believe that. And my Snoke is Leia video was a joke on top of Dash when he presented those Snoke theories, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Snoke is Leia. I can say something more to that would add a little more weight to it if it were true. It's not, but if it were true, this would make it even more true, right? So I don't know what I know I'm going to get some unsubs and some angry butthurt people over what I said in this video. I don't care. I keep it real. And, you know, the people who are going to be the Urban Acolyte fam, the Urban Acolyte army, those people are the folks that want somebody who keeps it real and doesn't bullshit when it comes to these dumb theories and anything else going on related to Star Wars. So if you don't like what I had to say, you don't like it, go do something else, you know. Hell, this stuff I don't like, and when I don't like it, then I just don't deal with it. So, you know, don't watch videos that you don't like of people you don't like, because, right, what's the definition of insanity? When you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, right? If you come here expecting, I mean, that's like, well, I know Prince is going to say something that's going to piss me off, but I'm going to go watch him anyway, right? Then, you know what? Let me come to your house and kick you in the balls in, right? Because that's the logic you're using, and I kick pretty damn hard for y'all to say Tai Chi's not a real martial art. You know, when I turn you into a eunuch, you gonna believe what I got in these hands now, boy. Come on, Leroy. Anyway, I'm having fun, but that's all I got for this one. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I'll be checking back to see what y'all have to say. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, click on that subscribe button and take your first steps towards becoming an Urban Acolyte. Make the commitment towards becoming make the commitment to become the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. I'm not editing that. I'm just going to leave it all in there because I ain't perfect. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me rant. I'm getting kind of tongue-tied, so I'm going to post this video, and then I'm going to go play some Secret World Legends on Urban Acolyte Gaming. So look for me in about an hour to live stream and joke and get scared and cuss while I'm playing the game. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.